Well, good evening, everyone. It is Wednesday, July 22nd. Holy crap. We're in the other half of July now.
Moving forward.
2026. And it is Fluno joined with Dennis. We are gonna disseminate the car news that matters. I mean, honestly, well, at least matters to me. Hey, Tony Imperial, you never got back to me. I emailed you, man. How you doing? How you doing, guy? You're gonna like tonight's show because this is all weirdness here. Yeah, so this has been a fascinating week for myself. Because yesterday I did the most horrible thing ever. I pulled the 413 from a 61 Chrysler. And as you see, we even had to remove the headlights to get the car engine out of the car. That is the fun of working on an early 60s Chrysler product. Because there it is on the homemade stand that I was terrified that it would not stay on. All in its glory. Everything, all my tools from Harbor Freight, baby. Actually, this leveler worked great. The level worked wonderful. It was a phenomenal leveler, and then we got it sitting here all dressed down, ready to go to the engine builder. So. That was scary because that thing has manifolds on it. That thing's 800 pounds. I mean, that is a heavy ass engine.
Yeah,
and you could feel it, but it was like, because it sat down in that wood. It sat in that wood. It was It was frightening.
It was molding the wood.
It was like
a BMW taking out the headlights to get something out of the.
It literally Chrysler created that. They literally had to remove the headlights because we had to take if you can see in the picture here, we had to we took the grill out because the radiator support, which is like here, was way too close to the engine for me to be able to pull this sucker out because it would have had to gone on a weird angle. And these years have transmissions that have bolts on the torque converter that goes straight to the crank. There's no flywheel, so you have to dislodge it from the bolts. So it's got to come forward about 2 inches to come off the pegs on the transmission and take out the bolts, and then you could go up with it. Thankfully, the hood on this car goes almost straight up in the air, so we had plenty of room. This was Sky Spectre saying I need to watch the Hawk. Lots of classic cars. Well, that's all I'll be doing is talking about the classic cars. Will drive my wife crazy. Yeah. So this thing was just frightening, and it's dumped coolant everywhere, dumped oil everywhere. It made a friggin' gigantic mess in this guy's garage. I mean, it was vile. But you know what? I have to say, this Harbor Freight engine crane absolutely is wonderful. Heavy duty. The legs are long enough that you can see the legs way down here. They're actually I have it on half ton, and the legs are still past the end of the boom. So it made it didn't feel like it was going to tip. I always had control over it. I was happy and impressed. It was worth every penny. Hey, Rooney, how you doing? Long time no see. So yeah, and now the owner has lots of work in this engine bay because the engine bay is disgusting. Everything's super greasy. It's nasty. Got to rewire it. Tony, I love my Harbor Freight stuff. I absolutely have no qualms with Harbor Freight. This shows what happens when a Chinese manufacturer actually is told to have standards. You can actually make stuff that isn't garbage. In fact, every tool that was used to take this engine out was from Harbor Freight. I used my cordless impact, friggin' just zap, taking things apart. I mean, it was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And the engine crane was it's pretty sturdy. It's heavy as hell, but sure, it was pretty cool. So yeah, I actually do real car stuff. I didn't film this because it took 8 hours to do, and B, I didn't want to film it in case something went wrong.
Right.
To be quite honest, I didn't need that. I really didn't need that. I really didn't. Look at it. See, even Rooney. Look at this. All my Harbor Freight stuff is in vintage orange. Oh, I remember the vintage orange from Harbor Freight. Man, I have some of the orange Harbor Freight stuff. Not a lot of it anymore because I've gotten a lot more of it. Oh, the new Craftsman ratchets are garbage compared to
Yeah.
even the Pittsburgh ones are better than the Craftsman. Granted, the Icon ones are much better. Icon is pretty much on equivalent. I would say it's close, very close to Snap-on, but a third of the price. Snap-on, it's literally like they've made it out of gold or platinum.
Right.
So yeah, then Autobot, of course, always has chicks at his Harbor Freight, of course, because that's just the way it works.
Of course.
I don't have any of that where I am. I just have very ugly-looking men and some stout-looking women.
I have a Craftsman socket set, pardon me, that I'm actually using. I'm going to Lakeland to work on one of our stores and bringing it with me for various tools. I think it's probably from like the late 60s. Little small thing, still use it, and it's like that was my dad's Ark of the Covenant. I mean, really, it went everywhere. It's still complete, perfect, and it is. I was telling my friend who was helping me with yard work on Monday. I'm like, don't mess this up. This is like, to me, a true heirloom of this very small thing, but still working fine. So,
oh yeah, the 60s stuff. I have drawers of that. I mean, I got stuff from my grandfather, my uncle, and I think from my great grandfather I have tools. And I mean, that older stuff it's friggin' indestructible, and you can rebuild it. Like those original ratchets from Craftsman, you can take them apart and clean the bearings and repack them and put them back together. Yes, Fluno does play drums.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I did not know this about Rooney. Rooney says Harbor Freight's family owned. I know that they are an American company, and that's why. But they actually do keep high standards. I mean, honestly, I bought hedge trimmers, Bauer hedge trimmers, right, to use them with that battery, that 5-amp battery that I use on everything. I have 2 of them. I literally trimmed a giant hedge. I mean, like a samurai, and I was out there for an hour, and the battery barely moved. Like I barely used any juice, sitting there just hammering away with that thing. And I can't say bad things about Harbor Freight. I can't. I've gotten way too many good products from there. Stuff that I'm like, this is worth it, man. Yeah. And they're having big sales coming up. They're having a parking lot sale. You got to tell Dan this, our friend. Go get that transmission jack. It's gonna be $80.
Not to digress here, but do they sell? Because I need to get like a new trimmer combo. Do they sell like yard equipment? Really?
Yes, they do.
Oh,
yes,
I never really thought about that.
And they're gonna have a sale on the Bauer thing. You buy this battery starter pack, you can get 1 tool free, and I think one of them is the hedge trimmer.
Oh, well, and the hedge trimmers, I use that as well on Monday, and it is, as Randy pointed, I mean, it's vintage orange Black & Decker. Again, needs a cord, but I would say at least 50 years old and still runs like a champ. But that's good to know. That I did not know they really had, because I don't go in there all the time and look around. That's really great to know about the yard equipment, because I need
absolutely.
Battery power.
The battery, because I always cut the cords on the hedge trimmers.
Actually, that happened on Monday, and it was sparking, and my friend who had it I thought he blew the 50-year-old device, but no, luckily it was just him setting it down, and it was.
You get to see how good an electrician I am. I've repaired so many extension cords with soldering them and then water tightening them. That's why I now have a cordless one. Because I can't. So but the Harbor Freight stuff worked out great.
Cool.
They're gonna have a parking lot sale. I highly suggest, if you need anything, first join up for their club, their inside track club. It's like $29 a year. I've probably saved like $600 so far. And the other thing, and then go and hit their parking lot sales.
When's that? This weekend?
Starting, no, I think in August it's going to be starting. They have a few things this weekend, but the real serious stuff's going to be coming in a week or so. Okay. I've saved so much money buying stuff there. It's just, they're headquartered in Calabasas. Wow.
Yeah.
See, they're an American company, but they told their Chinese manufacturing, don't make crap. Have some standards. And they do. They have standards. And I'm thoroughly impressed with this stuff. I can never spend the money on a Milwaukee at this point.
No.
I can't. I mean, a Milwaukee cordless impact is probably 3 times the price. And then the battery's twice. Oh my God, it's Sue M. How are you? I missed you. And his Sky Spectre always, she's learning. That's good though. Let's see, Rooney. Blotter and better hand tools are made in Taiwan now, and they have a handful of American-made hand tools. No kidding. So they have the good China, because that's when we always get parts. Yeah. It's like, oh, Taiwan, that's a good China.
The ROC, the ROC.
I didn't know they had some American stuff. I got to look at the tags on these things, see where they're coming from, because it's just been. I couldn't. Hi, Sue. I couldn't afford to keep buying. I couldn't afford to move on because Craftsman's garbage. I mean, at this point, Craftsman is junk. All the companies that sell it are Lowe's is useless. Lowe's is utterly useless if you have a Craftsman tool. I literally broke a ratchet Allen head, right? A swivel Allen head from Harbor Freight, Pittsburgh. I walked in, I showed the guy, I said, I broke this. Can I have a new one? Sure. Took one off, they handed it to me. All right. That was it. That was the lifetime guarantee. Literally just hand me a new one. I'm like, no problem. I didn't have to file any paperwork. Because literally I have some Craftsman tools that are broken. I don't know how to get them replaced. So I'm just going to throw them out.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how that is.
I will say so far the Craftsman chainsaw I have is going well, and the mower, but maybe that's a different realm.
It's all different. The hand tools are different. Yeah. The hand tools are a mess. They really are. So, I mean, that's why it's either this, you have to buy like Snap-on, but Snap-on, you're paying for that air conditioning in that truck.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, wait, I sent you a thing about calling Craftsman to get it replaced. Yes, please, because I have a pair of wacky pliers that I've never seen again that are broken, and I need to get that thing fixed. Please do. Oh man, because I've been running around like a chicken. Obviously, with this friggin' Chrysler 300G, I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I haven't been working on my own car. I'm going to Moparty in 6 weeks. I still have to do stuff on my car. I mean, and then I have to clean it because I'm going to a full-on like real car show, judging show the week after. So I got to clean the living piss out of my car before I go drag racing, because that makes perfect sense, right?
Of course.
Yeah, you have to do the warranty online. See, that's another. That almost doesn't seem worth it. It's such a pain in the ass. It really is.
What a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame. All right, so let's get into a little bit of news. This just happened. This is kind of freaky, because this is freaky, and I was a little taken aback by this. 75-year-old giant auto company files Chapter 15. Now, Chapter 15 is a little different. This is a foreign company or a Spanish company. The problem is that they make parts for Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis, and it's a very long-winded article. But it's the Burgios. It was founded in 1950 in Spain, and they filed for restructuring because they owe a little bit of money. They generate a lot of money, almost over $4 billion. So what they do, though, is that they make parts for General Motors, Stellantis, Volkswagen, Hyundai, and Renault. They have 2,100 people in the United States, 20,000 worldwide. So they're a pretty big company. And so what they make is, listen to what they make. They make doors, instrument panels, central consoles, coatings, components for the roofs, and electronic systems, including lighting, smart surfaces, human-machine interface systems, which I'm thinking is touchscreens, and sun visors. So, I mean, hopefully this is not going to go bad, and they could just hopefully get this reorganized and be able to structure it a little neater, unlike First Brands, which is now turning into a flat out Chapter 7. They're liquidating the company. There's nothing left actually to talk about. But this is more distress in the automobile facilities, and this is of course not good news for any of us. Not good news at all, because now we're dealing with, suppliers to the companies are having problems, which means they're probably going to have to raise prices, which of course is going to naturally affect the final price of a car, which are already way too expensive. This is not good cycles here. It kind of sucks. Yeah, we're in this suck phase now. I've never seen anything like this. Most people haven't. Let's see. So, Tony, I need time to get working my materials, or my house is consuming. That sounds like a problem. Yeah, I got to get on my car. I really do. I got to get on my car. I have a problem with my oil pump. I think the bypass valve is stuck, so I got to take the oil pump now on an LA Chrysler. It's inside the oil pan. If it was a B engine or a B, it's on the outside. Just take it off the car. Yeah, so I had to drain the oil and drop the pan. Can't wait. It's gonna feel fun. It's always exciting. Very, very nice. Oh, good. Well, Tony's moving in next weekend. So yeah, and I can't wait. I can't wait to get up to Mo Party. It's gonna I'm gonna have a lot of stuff this year for Mo Party, even though it's only 2 days, and I'm probably gonna be running around like a chicken, my head cut off. Hopefully I can get some good stuff.
Good.
I can't wait. So this is an update on First Brands, which 76 Viper Green Beetle always says I'm the only person talking about it, and so far it looks like I am, which is kind of depressing. But so we now have now we're getting wind down on this. Still nothing with Cardone. Cardone is still nowhere. Last week we talked about, Ray Bestis is now Chinese company. Not great. So now they think they can get $25 billion out of the James brothers and the lenders. Oh, this is going to get ugly. Third party factoring of $15.4 billion, supply chain factory $4.78 billion. Special part. I mean, this is all the money that is owed. Like, right. That is craziness. All right. So they funneled $12 billion through a Bowery account. $12 billion they stole. I mean, let's think about that for a second.
Jeez.
Mark S. Kirshner has more than 50 years of experience working with companies in bankruptcy proceeding as a lawyer, Chapter 11 trustee, blah, blah, blah. As an expert paid by First Brands lawyers, he says bankrupt aftermarket parts company litigation claims against former executives, lenders, and others may be worth up to $25 billion, with at least $2 billion up to cover the required payments of the bankruptcy plan, which the only thing left is Cardone. So are they going to bring Cardone back? I mean, because I don't understand how you have a Chapter 11 and have no business left. So in an expert's report filed with the U.S. Bankruptcy Court in Houston on Tuesday, Kirshner outlined each cause of action, potential cause of action, and the chances of recovery, including whether or not defense in those actions could actually pay up. That's the big thing. You can win a judgment, but if they can't pay, don't mean a damn thing. The underpinnings of fraud. Kirshner starts out by laying foundations of why he believes that things recovering in many of the case of action is possible. First, he believes First Brands conducted before its bankruptcy petition in September more than meets Fifth Circuit's Ponzi scheme presumption, which allows courts to presume companies' insolvency and intent to hinder, delay, or defraud if the plaintiff can't prove the company operated as a Ponzi scheme. The federal government itself is called a Ponzi scheme. Holy crap. The defense operated First Brands as a Ponzi scheme, where they basically robbed Peter and paid Paul. So Kirshner also reviews the badges of fraud and tells the courts to rely on these. What he writes. Lack of inadequacy of consideration mean the business didn't have matching value for the amount it paid out. The family, friendship, or close associate relationships between the parties in transaction. The retention or of possession, benefit, or use of property in question. The existence of cumulative effect of the pattern seen in transactions, or course, the conduct incurring debt. onset of financial difficulties, a pendency of threat or suits by creditors, the general chronology of events and transactions under transactions. So it's significant that the substantial work has already done to undertake to investigate the FBG debtor's claim and cause of action, understand the various transactions that support their claims. Because a litigation trustee will not be started from scratch, and indeed we already have 2 adversary proceedings have commenced, I believe we will allow the litigation trustee to hit the ground running and pursue these estate claims. So here is where it gets very interesting. First Brands has several kinds of claims. Now, listen to the amount of money that we're talking about here. Factoring claims. So this is those loans on inventory or things sold. $15 billion. $15 billion. Supply chain factoring. That's on like invoices. $4.7 billion. Special, like these are special loans. They're just kind of crafted differently. $2.5 billion. Insider claims valued at $1 billion. Suspicious acquisitions, $1.6 billion. Other claims, just $280 million. So they think they could get $25 billion out of this.
Oh.
And a lot has to do with that. They think that because it's a Ponzi scheme, that basically the James brothers, they caught them funneling $12 billion through Bowery, controlled by Patrick James, for the 3 years they were doing this. Even if the litigation trustees couldn't rely on a Ponzi scheme presumption, there's still hope for recovering through the presence of badges of fraud. So let's see. Do a lot here. Furthermore, wow, this goes on. All right. So then your special purpose vehicles. This is where they had SPVs, which were that were off its balance sheet prior to bankruptcy. So this stuff that just showed up, $2.5 billion of just, oops, where'd that come from? So First Brands operated several SPVs, notably Carnaby Inventory 2 and Carnaby Inventory 3, Broadsheet Financial, Heathering Holdings, Bowery Financial, and other. SPV helped First Brands accrue more than $2 billion in financing. It is absolutely mind-numbing. And then let's see, they go in psychotic detail over the SPV, and then of course $1 billion insider claims, where they basically just took $1 billion for themselves, and then the suspected acquisitions where they just took money out of the company and then made it insolvent. This is where it gets really bizarre, and then other claims don't really matter. So this First Brand things is still going on. It's nowhere near done. They are now no one has absolutely they haven't had a trial yet. They haven't had any discovery on the owners. I think that's next month the trial starts, but literally the only thing left is Cardone and Pure Fuel. And that's it. So I don't know how you call this a Chapter 11 anymore when you don't have a company. So I don't know. This is so strange, but we'll see as the year goes on. It will definitely pass the year mark.
Oh, God. That's a lot of money. That's no.
It's psychotic amounts of money.
Seriously, it's
yeah. So they I mean,
that's happened. I mean, with the lenders. I mean, I'm actually speechless on it because there's not. I didn't make sense to allow all this to happen.
No oversight. Literally, the companies they were working with had no oversight. Literally, their the regulatory departments in each one of these banks and lenders wasn't doing any due diligence. That's how fraud, and it's a lot of backslapping, hand greasing, taking them out to three martini lunch kind of things. This is exactly how this happens. They were whining and dining these guys, and no one had any oversight. And it was, it actually is the point now where something needs to happen because, we got to get Cardone back, because at this point we need to have those parts. Because last week I had to go to a junkyard to get a power steering pump for a 1995 BMW, which of course the peristaltic power steering pump was good. Did it on Saturday, brutal. But this is where we are with replacement parts. And as far as a lot of brake parts, because Cardone made brake parts too, and I have comments of people that they can't find stuff, like just minor rebuild stuff for brakes, especially drum brakes. It's not awesome. So here we are. But I there's so much AMC stuff. I can't wait to get to it. I just have a couple more. I have a couple more things. It's just, I'm so excited. So excited about this. So first, I guess we're a half hour in. I think we should kind of just go. We'll just go right into it because the Cope has been big online. So we're here. Yeah, so if you go on YouTube and have any type of no, it's so insane. Any type of rhythm, your rhythm. Your algorithm. Thank you. If your algorithm, I can't say it. It has anything to do with cars. You've been probably seeing a lot of cope about the Charger. I mean, seriously disturbing amounts of stuff. And it's on Facebook too. It's on YouTube. It's probably on Instagram, which I don't go on much, but it's bad. I mean, they are literally spending more money trying to cope with the failure of this car than actually fix it. And I actually saw a comical post by somebody on Facebook. I didn't want to even post it here because I don't want to embarrass this person further. But I would take this Charger against a BMW M. And I'm like, an M would destroy this Charger. I don't give a crap what Charger you brought. An M would destroy it in any contest, drag race, track, stopping, gas mileage, anything. And it's like, I'm like, I could take a BMW 440 and destroy one of these Chargers. Drag racing 0 to 60 on a track, it wouldn't even be a contest. If I brought these two cars down to Sebring, I would probably be 15 seconds ahead with the BMW, easily 15 seconds ahead. Not even a contest. So it's so embarrassing. It's actually sad. So let us get into.
I would argue that he does a video, or he or she does a video like this, because what are we doing? And we're talking about it right now. I would argue that people do this cope to actually just boost their channel, because we know it's not real. I mean, if that's the right word, and they want to get more discussion. So,
well, yes and no. I guess
agree? A little bit of like just a reversal of like,
I honestly think that people have been caught being paid to be shills. And there are a couple of YouTube channels that I am guaranteeing are shills, because what they're saying is nonsense. And they're talking hype about something that doesn't matter. Oh, they're going to bring in 1,000 horsepower car. So what? Who cares? They'll sell 100 of them. Who gives a shit? At the end of the day, they're going to sell 15,000 of these cars this year. If they're lucky, they can sell 15,000, which is a disaster. So this is last week. Now take note of this car here. This is the cheapest Charger in the United States, $45,790 out there in young Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Riverside.
Price is going down. Wasn't like 51 and change originally?
They're throwing cash on the hood like they're going out of business. They're throwing up to 15. I've heard up to $15,000 on some models.
Oh, God.
Brand new car. And the thing is, they're depreciating. By next year, this car will be worth less than $30,000. They'll depreciate like stones. If you buy one of these, I feel bad for you. You're gonna have a product you'll never be able to get out from underneath. Right. You'll be stuck in this car. I hope you like it, because you will be stuck in it for the duration until you pay that loan off. It's yours. Yeah. No one else is gonna take it. I mean, just like if you had a Hornet, you're dead in that car. I mean, you're not getting out from underneath it.
I saw one yesterday. I meant to tell you. I saw one, and I meant to I tried to get a picture, but the light turned too quickly. I saw the cool logo on the side.
So this is last week. So they had 11,341 because they're not making anymore. That is just they're not. They stopped manufacturing weeks ago. So where are we now? So we are now at 11,046. So they sold about 200 what 50 cars in the past week, which is still horrible. I mean, that's like 15,000 in a year, which is less than the 7 Series. To be very honest, that's less than the 7 Series. That's a $100,000 car. This thing is a failure of massive proportions. It is a 5,000 pound just embarrassment to Dodge, and it's literally going to bring the end of Dodge. That's how bad this car is doing. It literally makes the Durango look like a success story because the Durango's kind of selling. Hey, look at G Canada gave me 10 gems of happy poop. Yes, they are fun to rent. This is like owning. I'm talking like at a rental. I don't even know if rental car places have these, but if they do, sure. Do not do a lease on this car because you'll still get burned. No. You'll end up upside down even on a lease. This car is depreciating way too fast. When you're throwing money on the hood, you're done. I mean, you are done. I just don't. G Canada, money bags over there. Oh, at least it wasn't Canadian pesos. I'm excited. Thank you very much, though, G Canada. You're so cool. Thanks, man. And happy poop. So I don't know, Fluno, you sold cars. I mean, so when they start throwing money on the hood of a car,
well, I was just thinking in my head, going back 20 years. I mean, the only time that happens, like we discussed numerous times, year-end clearance is the built-in depreciation of rebates. That's all rebates are. Is hey, it's already lost money. The company, meaning Ford, Chevy, obviously, is putting the money to the dealership. They're literally subsidizing to bring people in, or 0% interest. You can figure that out, and it's called cash back for a reason. You don't have to take the rebate. You can actually buy the car and take the cash back. And I did some deals like that where, hey, there's $8,000 off on this 06 from a long time ago. Obviously, we're talking. I'll take that cash back, get my 5.9%, yada yada yada. So, thinking about even like Brandon Ford, which used to be all kind of is about volume.
Yeah.
Yes, you would buy like, even my first Mustang. You didn't pay sticker. You paid the retail invoice. Big difference from what they're actually paying. But here you go. They're still making plenty of money on the back end. There's no triple net, etc. But there's no additional money on the table. Okay.
Right.
Sure. They might offer like, first time buyer, $500. College ed, military, whatever. That's just incentives. But there was never like, oh no, we can't move these. Heck, you had lost leaders. That's fine. That's stripped out. Triple net, bring people in, but nothing to this extreme. So that's a good deal right now. It's not
$42,000. I mean, that's what you think. I'm not. You think I'm kidding them that these cars are going to be $30,000 a year old.
Think about this though. What did I show you a few months ago? Like 51 grandish was the cheap one. If he's saying 42, that's already $8,000 off on a brand new car.
And that's before you even start negotiating.
Yes. Oh, I mean, I'll triple net that. I'll be like, look, you want this thing out of here? What did you pay for it? No dealer fee. That's $1,000. No dealer fee. This and this. You triple net it. And I guarantee they're going to sell them that way. Okay.
Yeah.
So, no, triple net is getting rid of the back end, the dealer fee, and obviously, wholesale dealership pricing. Mm-hmm. So that's what that is. You're stripping out truly all the profit for the dealership in a triple net. So,
oh my God! So what the hell's the incentive for the dealer at that point?
There isn't. Well, just think, the incentive is we are going to own this car. We got to get it out of here so we can quit paying interest.
So basically, it's negative incentive.
Yes,
we're going to get screwed if we don't get it.
For brand new cars. We're not talking like a year-end clearance. If you have a year-end clearance that's paid off, on the lot, okay, they paid FMCC or whoever to pay that off. They want to at least recoup some of their money. So they're going to take a loss here, but they're going to make it back on the car over here. Don't forget, too, with all their used cars, that way they used to be, you could get $3 to $4 grand profit. It's all coming back in. There's never really a losing deal in a normal dealership setup.
Right.
Here, though, we're starting from the start of losing money on the hood on brand new cars. That should not happen.
Yeah.
At all.
And G Canada, I can't really disagree. In a year, there'll be 32 brand new. Yeah. In fact, these 2026s are going to be on that lot. They will be $32,000 next year. There's no way they're going to sell 11,000 of these before September. That's not going to happen. Not when you sell 200 a week. No. You're not going to sell 11,000 in 2 months. And so the new ones are coming out in 27. I don't know how the hell Stellantis is going to. How do you do that? I mean, when you have stuff on the lot that's from last year and they're making the new model, which is the same as the old model, what do?
I might do this, and not to play with them or be a jerk. I actually might go back to my local Dodge, Jeep, Eagle, Chrysler dealership, Dodge, whatever, Ram dealership, and talk to a salesman. Really, just say, look, I got to ask you some questions, and I'll tell you about the show. Obviously, you might be a Mopar fan. Tell me the show and say, look, I'd like to actually interview you a little bit on what's going on. And I said, look, he probably might say, go to hell, but at the same token, I want to know how they're actually, as someone in the business for many years, how are they actually, one, eating, and two, dealing with this catastrophe. I really want to know.
And the thing
that would be a neat report from the streets. I mean, really, I'd like to find out how they are actually working deals and trying to get these off the lot, along with other vehicles they have.
I don't think they have much support from Stellantis themselves. Stellantis themselves doesn't seem like they give a rat's ass about them. I mean, and I didn't even do a thing on it. Stellantis changed their Jeep CEO and their Ram CEO for no apparent reason. Two European-looking guys that probably one worked at Ford, and I forgot where the other one worked. A lot of different cars, but it doesn't matter. It's like, so I don't know what Kuniskis's job really is anymore, because he isn't running anything, and he's supposed to be overseeing it. So it's just another layer of management, because they already have someone that's head of North America. It was the head of Mexico, became the of North America. I have no idea what is going on at this company. And it is absolutely, they are literally spinning in the toilet at this point. I mean, They are seriously spinning in the toilet. I know I saw in the comments about Ford having the most cars on the lot. Ford will sell those cars, and they won't even have to dip that. Probably because they ramped up their truck production, because they had the aluminum fires and all, and they had to make catch up. They probably built a lot of stuff, but they'll sell them. Ford has no problems right now. Stellantis is a mess. They have no product in the pipeline that anybody wants, and they're not supporting their older cars, and they aren't wooing their older buyers. I would never buy a Stellantis product ever. No. I don't give a crap. No. I don't care if this Charger was $15,000. I wouldn't buy it. I just wouldn't. It's too complicated. I wouldn't own something this complicated.
No, and it's all-wheel drive, and that right there is my. Maybe it sounds silly, but that to me is actually my. I don't know. And there's no stick obviously involved either.
No stick. No stick.
So,
the all-wheel drive and the 5,000-pound weight. The 5,000-pound weight is because you're going to eat tires. I mean, when it's that, it weighs as much as my F-150. That Charger weighs as much as my F-150 does. I mean, that's not even right.
No.
So I mean, it's just look at this. Tony Imperial showing how you work them. You work the numbers. How you work them.
There you go.
2-year leases on a D plan on a Fusion. No money down. 2-year lease, $179 a month.
Hey, and you got a great car. I mean, like I tell people, a lease is a rental. I mean, it really is. I mean, that's right. People who brag about their S-Class and stuff. I'm like, oh, you rented it? Like, no, I leased it. I'm like, it's not yours. It's So that's a great deal, though, because if he worked there, so got that D plan. leasing is perfect for folks that can control the mileage and know how to do it. They are great. I have no.
Think how cheap that is, though.
That's amazing. Good for him.
I mean, seriously.
What year? What year was it? What year was this?
Was this Tony? Was that like 2016 or something like that? I think I saw in the comments. Yeah, he sold Fords up to 2016, so it was the early teens.
So right.
So he wouldn't even
like even 10 years before that when he first came out.
He didn't have $5,000 in that car. All in for 2 years. He didn't have $5,000 into it.
That's great. That's amazing. Oh, I bought my GT on the X play, the D play, whatever we got. It's a good time.
It's good stuff. So I got one more little thing. This is absolutely hilarious. Car Scoops did this, and an 8-seat Mazda is faster and lighter than a 420 horsepower Dodge Charger RT. This is how bad it is getting at this point. Now they're being just basically embarrassed. I mean, we're at that point. So they compared it to a Mazda CX-90.
Wow. That is bad.
I mean, I don't even care about the article, but the weight. The curb weight, 4,921 pounds. That's just for an RT Charger with regular rims, not the bigger rims, which are heavier. And it was 25 pounds heavier than a CX-90. A CX-90. This giant SUV. Giant SUV.
I like those rims.
They're nice, yeah.
Again, I will go back. It's sad. I think it's such a shame. This is like such a shame because in person, it's not a terrible looking car, but they've ruined it.
Yeah. So they made it too complicated.
I know. I know.
So here is the CX. This is what a CX-90 looks, and this is actually lighter, and this can hold like a whole family.
Yeah, it's their full size one. Mm-hmm.
Full size one.
Loaded.
Go ahead.
No, that's their top of the line SUV, I believe.
All right. So 20 Cent wants to know why they're so heavy. The Charger shares the same platform as the Cherokee. It is basically built on a truck chassis. I mean, that's their shared chassis, but they use the same one that they use in the Cherokee, and it's all-wheel drive. So it has to have the stiffeners and all to be all-wheel drive, and it has all the added things you have in all-wheel drive. So the car is incredibly heavy because of all this extra framework to make the vehicle stiff. And they didn't use any exotic materials. Everything's steel, which there's no aluminum in there. The only plasticky looking thing is tailgate because I've seen them warp. But honestly, it's just a heavy vehicle by design, and there's no way to put it on a diet. There's also no way to put a V8 in it. There's no way just to go take this car and just drop a V8 into the thing. You have to do massive redesign of the front of the car. And now you're going to have a car that's going to be over 5,000 pounds because the V8's heavier than an inline six. All day long, the V8's going to be heavier. So I actually saw the people that were, that pimp for Stellantis. God, that's such an ugly interior. Oh, God. There's a new 318 coming. No, there isn't. There isn't. There isn't. They're going to be releasing a new car on hot summer nights. It's 1,000 horsepower Huracan. Who cares? I mean, they'll sell hundreds of those. Maybe it'll probably be $100,000. No Sky Spectre. Heavy is bad. When it comes to a car, heavy's bad because it makes it harder to handle. Because now you have more weight that you're forcing onto the tires. It'll eat tires like nobody's business. It makes it harder to stop. You need to put giant brakes on it, but you'll start making those brakes hotter faster. You need more power to make it go faster. You'll get terrible fuel economy in real world. These cars are not. Neither one of them could get over 20. I'm pretty sure neither one get over 20. They're too heavy. There's just too much weight to push around. And inline sixes with turbos, they're always going to be in the turbo. Always going to be in the turbo. So I don't know how you get fuel economy if you're always in your turbo. It's just, and it's only a 3 liter. And I mean, my truck has a 3.5 liter. I can drive around without getting into the turbo. But then again, I have a different type of engine with different gearing. It's a truck, and that's okay. It's made like a truck. This is a car that's trying to, I don't know, that weighs like a truck. Yeah. Oh God, I love this. Rooney. They should have listened to Avril Lavigne when she sang, "Why you gotta go and make things so complicated." That's our first Avril Lavigne quote ever on this show.
Yeah. She was very popular when I was selling Chevys for a brief stint. It's funny.
Oh wow.
No, really, it's just funny. That's actually pretty interesting. Of all people to name. I mean, why did they? Again, it's sad. They should have rear-wheel drive, and then you could up it from there. Bad planning all the way around.
But now they're stuck with this car. I mean, This is the problem: is that now they're just stuck with it, and it doesn't matter who you bring in or what type of management you have. You're stuck. Your Dodge brand is now stuck with this, and the ideas they have to help Dodge are dumb. I mean, they don't need a 1,000 horsepower car. No. They don't need an SRT 2-door. They need a family sedan. They honestly, Dodge should have a minivan. Let's be very honest. Dodge should have a minivan, or a cheap crossover. Not. They don't need an SRT Copperhead. There's no reason. And Chrysler should not have Fiats. Then next year we're going to get Fiats, and they're going to be failures too, because the last time they brought in Italian cars was the Dodge Hornet, and the Dodge Hornet actually it is owed an apology, because the Charger basically is a much worse selling car by leaps and bounds. Leaps and bounds, the worst selling Dodge ever, and you can't go around and try to get around that. It is a failure, and I don't know how they're going to do this. All right, Rooney wants to know: were you a skater boy?
No,
I don't remember you being a skater. I have no idea. If you don't know what.
No, why? What?
I have no idea.
What makes them even think that? I'm trying to figure that out.
I don't know. Maybe it's the post. I don't know. Rooney's just trying to stir some stuff here, man. So, all right, let's get into the funness of AMC, because AMC's always intrigued me. And honestly, as a Mopar guy, they intrigued the hell out of me, because it was finally another car that was more impossible to fix than mine. So it truly made me, it was something I was curious about. And the love for these cars is amazing. People do insane things to keep these cars on the road. I mean, it's truly the adoration of AMC product is it's crazy, actually. So I don't know. So here I got inspired by this by reading this article. This was on the Autopian. AMC had some strange ideas for brochures in 1969. Now, I mean, this was peak AMC. Peak AMC was really the late 60s through early 80s. That was peak AMC, because it was got no idea what they were doing. So I've always been fond of AMC. They're like America's lovable losers of the car industry. Always seem to be against the ropes, coming up with a clever solution to problems while never actually, completely figuring things out. But they had some pretty significant achievements in the Nash Hudson past, as like making the first mass-produced unibody cars, and being early evangelists or for fully reclining seats, or keeping the torch for American companies compacts aflame. In my head, I sort of think if peak AMC is starting in early 70s, going to the 80s, the 1950s and 60s AMCs is Rambler era for me, and it feels different from the Gremlins, Hornets, and Pacer era, which amped up the weirdness. The 1969 brochure I stumbled upon from the tail end of the Rambler era was the first year of the last year of the Rambler name, even, but I think it had some seeds of glorious weirdness that AMC would blossom into the 1970s. It It wasn't all Ramblers, though. AMC had attempted to make premium sedans, too. The Ambassador. Everybody remember the Ambassador, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't see many of those anymore.
No.
Talk about some odd brochure choices. You can see the hint of this up top in the top graphic where the text references wood sides of the 20s because AMC had some weird 1920s fixation when it came to luxury. I think those dogs own the wagon too, so it's this one. Jesus. And what the hell is up with the guy's gray funeral steaming photo here? Those grayscale sculptures in the grassy field of the cement crate car, all the way up to necropolitan kind of look. Doesn't really understand its context. What the hell is going on here? This is an actual car ad. That is literally
great. That's so era, that Baroque style, the late 60s, early 70s.
I don't even understand it though.
No, it's if they're on something.
What the hell is going on in this picture? And here we go. They also got excited to show the back seat and its 20s style interior for some reason. Were late 60s car buyers really craving the look of interiors from almost 50 years prior? So look, that's actually the back seat of this car. And then they put it in the living room.
That's amazing. That's great. That's so cool.
And then this gem. This is for the station wagon. What is going on here? It's this blasting area, no radio transmitting. So you have this guy looking lost. You have this woman here, and you zoom in on it. And so she looks like she won an Eleanor Roosevelt lookalike contest. This guy looks lost. He's looking at her, and this guy's staring at you. Go, why do you even want this car?
This guy's saying, "What do you want from me?" Right?
This dog's looking that way. This dog's looking this way, and this guy's saying, "What do you want from me?" I don't even understand what's going on in this picture.
And the guy on the tailgate, he looks like the guy from the German from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh yeah,
he burned his hand, and then face melted.
Yeah. And then the other. So then here we go. This is for the AMC muscle car, the Javelin, and this is the ad for it. Glassy. They were talking about the big back window. Everybody that bought a muscle car wanted a big back window.
Wow, that's a big back window.
Yeah, they could go up to the GTOs and Mustang Mach-Es and go, look, I have a bigger back window than you. Jazzy, big bumpers. They actually were one of the first to use this type of door handle in the United States. I did a video on it. It's so weird.
Yes.
They also noted Javelin's massive contour bumper, which again is, muscle car guys really loved. And then this is the Rambler one. So the Rambler, they put it here with all the cars it's competing against. And they go, look at that. This is what the American, this is our competition. And then they tried to put the high points of it. I'm not so sure if they did such a good job with this. A lot of these are better cars.
Yeah.
So that is AMC. This is like the beginning of the bizarre time at AMC. Now AMC, what was it? There was a joint venture between Nash
and Hudson.
And then they
became AMC.
And then they acquired Packard Studebaker, right?
Basically it was going to be all four combined to become American Motors. And then I believe, and I know we discussed this, but and George Romney was involved, but someone died before it could all come through. And I believe it was Packard and Studebaker who were like, no, we don't want to be part of you. Packard lied to Studebaker. Studebaker lied to Packard about their finances, kind of like the whole 90s, Chrysler and Mercedes situation.
Yeah.
And they failed, as we know, 58. So it became two independent now companies versus one big one with all four. Probably would have been okay, but no. And I believe AMC officially came together, I believe in 56 or 55, somewhere around there. And it just went from there. And the original one, they still called it Hudson and Nash. I believe, up to 57. And then in
Right.
58, it officially became the Rambler, Ambassador, etc., etc.
Yeah. So I mean, the company had a hard start from the beginning.
Yeah, of course.
It was just, and everybody, we always had the discussions about, now this is hilarious. I found this online, and honestly, this was just bizarre. Everybody talks about the transmissions. So I always thought they just used Chrysler transmissions because the 727 was a very reliable transmission. Everybody knew it was a reliable transmission. And I figured that they were always used it, but no. In this file, this is from the American Motors thing from like Finland, and they actually have people in Finland that love these cars. AMC. Oh yeah. G Cannon reminding us that he had an Iron Duke. He had an Iron Duke AMC. But
Great.
look at this. So literally in the 50s, they used GM transmissions,
Mm-hmm.
and then they used a flashaway, which I'd never heard of. Then they had a Packard transmission, also in the mid 50s. Now the Borg Warner ones, these are what Ford used. So this is all Ford transmissions up through the late 60s, early 70s. So, and they were iron up until, they were still using iron transmissions up until 71.
Wow.
Cast iron. Chrysler stopped using those in like 63. They went to an aluminum torque flight. So they actually didn't start using the torque flight until 1972. So look how many different types of transmissions they used in a 10-year period. Just look at that. The M8, from the M8 all the way down to the M44, they use that many transmissions in a 10-year period. How do you keep parts? Seriously.
All makes combined. That's
exactly. But how do you, this is part of the problem with AMC is that they just literally turbo 400 in the Jeeps took, because I see that the turbo down here, all the Jeep motors up until here it says 79. But so they not only did it have Chrysler transmissions at that time, they had General Motors transmissions at that time. Two totally different types of transmissions, totally different types of way to work on them. Oh my God. This is absolutely, this is why AMC is always so fascinating to me, because how do you know what part you had in your car? Because this Jeep had a Chrysler 727, but then this Jeep had a turbo 400. Same years. Oh, that's amazingly bad. Here we go. Rooney. Well, my Jeeps are 77, has a Chevy steering column in 78, and then they started using the Ford ignition. Yeah, they did have Danas at least, so that was good. All makes combined. Yeah, all makes combined, because this is literally the issue they have with them. So here's some of the adding. So this is like was it 69? And like we'll be able to get one in for you for wholesale. Like literally, they're already in their advertising that hey, you can get this thing really, really cheap. Who the hell does that?
When you're late to the game and you pretty much took a Javelin and just got rid of the back seat.
I'm like, what the hell is? I saw this ad. I went, why? And then,
what's the small print say though? Is it like?
Hold on.
Because I'm sure there's a play on words.
Last year the question was, should we turn the dream car into reality? The answer is a confident yes. So this is the introduction. Some months later, the question was, how many AMXs could we build the first year with no time to tool up? The answer was a confident 10,000 of them. Now the question is, why didn't we squeeze out a little more confidence? We're asking ourselves because fanatical reaction to AMX is getting. The last paragraph of Motor Trends report on AMX is a prime example. A car with it should be a solace for what ails you. You should bring it out, the zest for living, proving, going, and AMX does. The problem is simple. Come up with an impeccable 2-seat conditional continental body design and join it with good performance chassis and power plant. Incorporate the results in the mass production, fit average guy's wallet, and we have a winner in your hands. American Motors should. If you were a dealer, we can get you an AMX wholesale. If we can get you an AMX.
Right.
If they only knew. God. You know what? The thing is, AMC didn't rust-proof these cars. None of the cars were rust-proofed.
Oh.
Yeah, they had no spray on the inside, so they basically spare steel, and they used to rot from the inside out. It's good stuff. And then we have this gem, the Rebel, the Rambler American, in '67. So this just started when they started doing the red, white, and blue. This was like as they started running into, trying to do some high impact coloring, because they really were the first ones that were trying to make cars stand out by color. So this was the now car when they came out with the Rambler coupe. And I mean, honestly, most of these things were powered by really weak sixes. And so I just always found it funny because they really doubled down on this whole thing as it went on. And this is the one everybody was talking about before. This is for Javelin. They actually had a TV commercial with this. This is for a brand new car. They show it with a blower. In last season's Trans Am road races, specially prepared and modified Javelins often outran a more seasoned competition. And in our first year, we were the only factory team who never failed to finish a race. This year, in addition to SEC Trans Am, we'll be represented by 2 factory-sponsored teams in NASCAR GT circuit. But if you don't have time to be a pro, to be competitive in a Javelin, because the pros are making custom parts especially for you. Here's a few: Hirsch shifters, Doug's headers, Iski cams, Edelbrock and Offenhauser intake manifolds, Schiffer clutches and flywheels. Offer them through American Motors dealers, your favorite speed shop, and who knows, driving a Javelin become more of a career. And so, yeah, they're advertising they could actually make a hot rod. Yeah. There's a TV commercial with that car. Sure, send me the link. I think I can find it on YouTube. But I mean, this is insanity at this point. I mean, seriously, this is insanity. Literally, like, this is their advertisement for the car. But I will say something about American Motors. They did something that Chrysler couldn't do. They actually won at Trans Am. Chrysler brought out the AER CUDA and the TA and failed miserably. I mean, those cars were horrible on the track. They were both, the CUDA and Challenger were terrible. And actually, Mark Donahue, I think he won the championship in a red, white, and blue Javelin. And they actually did sell a red, white, and blue Javelin, Mark Donahue special. I've actually seen 2. So, yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was...
Rebel. Look at the way that ad, though, with the back and, like, again, that late 60s, like, here you're trying to sell a muscle car, but let's throw in wagon wheels in the background.
Oh, yeah.
And make it look so Baroque. Like, that was so becoming in vogue. It's just such a weird blend of what they were trying to capture on so many levels. Like, to be that, again, like the British invasion, but not really, the rock band look. It just really was a trippy time, you might say.
It truly, yeah, you're right about that. It was really, really, really trippy. I don't, I mean, and AMC was really, they were really kind of, laying into it, I guess.
Yeah, the youth market. There's
Yeah,
a great another it's a sales video of a father and son going into a dealership, and that's the one I want, Dad. And the Rebel is on the showroom, and of course his dad's like a guy in a suit. The son looks like he's avoiding the draft, and I mean, really, and it's two different cultures, but they were blending together to show this is what the youngsters like today, and it was a really cool promo
yeah.
video, as a salesman video.
I understand 439 JK, but they still did win. I mean, and Chrysler did such a half-ass. I mean, Chrysler spent a lot of money, especially for them to make the TA and the AAR CUDA. I mean, they made special heads for those cars. They're not regular 340 heads. And the thing is, they couldn't even use that 340 to race because it had to be 305 cubic inches. It was actually de-stroked. It was, and still though, the cars were horrible. They absolutely were terrible racing. I mean, American Motors did win, and I mean, you can't take that away from them. They did win. That's just like saying, Ford ended up winning, in NASCAR, or General Motors ended up winning in NASCAR, like when Chrysler pulled out, because there was no one. I mean, at one point, it was almost all General Motors in NASCAR. They won a championship, but they still won. So, well, yeah, Chrysler didn't commit. I mean, that was the problem with Chrysler and the and Trans Am. They were it was a great idea when they came up with it in '69, but unfortunately, by the time they got the car out, the market was just changing, and they were in trouble. And I mean, they were already in trouble at that point. And the large cars had been tanking so bad since '69 that, if they had not released the Duster, the Duster and the Fastback Dart, they would have been like done earlier, because those cars kept them afloat. Yeah, it was really, yeah, that they did such a half-ass effort at it. There was no way they were going to win. It was quite embarrassing, actually. It really is. That whole effort was embarrassing, and that just made those cars rarer. It actually made, what they make 18. No, they made 2,200 each of the TA and the CUDA. So it's a pretty rare car, not super rare, but they made a bunch of them, but they just did dick. I mean, it racing, they were horrible. So let's see. Oh yeah. Wait, that's not the one I want. Here it is. Remove. Here it is. Now let me skip ahead. When they actually had a partner with Renault, because they were going bankrupt in the early '80s. Everybody remembers Le Car.
Oh, I remember seeing those. Yeah. The car.
Le Car, as we used to go, Le Crap. So basically, what had happened is that AMC was doing so poorly. Romney, I think Romney died. Mm-hmm. He either died, he got sick. I know he left. And after he left, they were just kind of listless, and they were bleeding, absolutely bleeding cash. And because Chrysler was having problems, they were having supply problems from Chrysler. And so things were not going wonderful. So they made a partnership with Renault. And Renault gave them a bunch of money and technical information. And all they had to do in return is sell Renaults at their dealership.
Mm-hmm.
These cars absolutely were garbage. I mean, they were junk, and I know of no one that actually has ever owned one of these. Seriously, I've known nobody that has owned one of these, and they literally were going, because they basically said it was from the company that gave us the 230 mile per hour train.
Yeah,
they're trying to equate this to this is great French engineering, which I'll never utter those words ever again.
Well, if it was Citroën, I mean, gotta say that's unique all on its own, from suspension to, I mean, that's a double-edged sword right there, because they are definitely funky. But I will say, I knew someone didn't have a Le Car, but one of my customers, this is back in the '90s, he had an Alliance sedan.
No. You're joking me.
No, he would come in and have a cigar, and he was kind of a business guy and middle management kind of guy, and he had a mid-80s Alliance, and I am not joking. The speedometer, now mind you, at this time it was only like a 12-year-old car. The needles were so badly made that over like 12 years they disintegrated, and he basically had no needles on his.
He had no needles in his cluster.
Basically, it looked like stubs. Yeah, like he knew the fuel
like
gauge kind of worked because it kind of had a little nub that pointed to the. He just knew when to fill it up.
So it's like the guy at the saw.
I still see it.
It's like the veteran at the sawmill.
Yeah, no, right, no, absolutely. And it was like you see where the plastic had twisted, and it was it was a manual, it was a stick shift. It was great. I mean, I say that facetiously, but he was a really cool dude. He'd come in like every week, come down, talk business, and he had it because it was cheap and it was economical. But he liked it because it was a unique French car, like the Lambo.
Yeah. So here we go. Sky Spectre, lay escargot. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. So this was all right. So I got the video. All right. So this is I'll just put this up here. This is the ad for that AMX. Let's see. We'll get this going here. I got to remove you. We'll add you. All right. So this is from Historic Films. All right. So you should be able to have sound.
Albert! What is it?
It's the javelin you bought me.
This is the beautiful new javelin you baked me for? I hardly recognize it. Oh, what's that sticking out of the hood? The special 390 engine?
It's a supercharger. Adds a lot more horsepower.
What happened to the reclining bucket seats and the deep pile carpeting?
Gets useless weight on the drag strip.
You kids today. Eleanor! I want your mother to come down here and see how you butchered your car.
Butchered?
Butchered!
Some people like the javelin for what it is. Some people like the javelin for what it can be. That's fine, as long as they're not in the same family.
I've only made it better.
Oh my God. That is absolutely, utterly hilarious. What the hell? Jesus. AMC was unhinged. They were absolutely unhinged. That's freaking unhinged. Wow. I'm absolutely flummoxed by that. That was an actual ad on TV.
Such great ads though. Again, we don't see any of that today.
No.
It's more about how you survive accidents.
Yeah. I mean, at least, that
they were caused accidents.
Yeah, that was absolutely. So, and this is something, actually, another thing that AMC did that most people don't remember. Let me remove this and then add. Wait, where is this? Add this. Here we go. AMC was actually the first one to give you a full bumper to bumper this is like 1971. They had I didn't know this. They had a full bumper to bumper warranty on the car for 12 months or 12,000 miles. Covered everything except tires. So they were BMW for BMW was. And not only that, they'll give you a free loaner. This is in the early 70s. Nobody gave you a loaner. And AMC would give you special trip interruption, $150 for food and lodging if the car needs repairs more than 100 miles from home.
Examine, first of all, the only company that will fix or replace any part. And Lincoln's was a limited bumper to bumper 2-year 24,000 mile. And again, that's a luxury car. This was obviously for the regular guy. So this was a big deal.
This is a huge deal. I mean, seriously, this was like, I couldn't, when I found this, I'm like, I didn't even know they did this. I mean, seriously, I didn't know even know that they did this. No wonder they lost their ass. I mean, seriously.
Well, according to the ad, it says we back them better because we build them better. That's no false advertising there, I'm sure.
No, none at all. No, none at all.
Don Draper was drooling over that tagline.
Well, yeah, Don Draper came up with that tagline.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna start. All right, so yeah, we'll move to this. So here we go. The Gremlin. So the Gremlin was their answer for the small car, the Japanese invasion. And so they came up with the concept of making a car that, had not a big footprint, but can fit a lot of things in it. Unfortunately, they gave it the most tragic name ever.
Yeah.
The Anatomy of a Gremlin. I love the points here. The Gremlin is the only little economy car with a standard 6-cylinder engine. Reaches turnpike speeds easily, whatever the hell that means. Weighs more than any other small car. That's a selling point. It was heavier, and its wheels are wider apart because wider is better. Wider front seat, wider back seat, and more headroom there's more headroom in the trunk. What do you? I mean, obviously you're having a lot of fun in your car. You're having headroom in the trunk,
right?
So your date doesn't get a concussion. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, that's. Maybe they're making a joke for the dog.
I guess.
That doesn't go well today.
No.
Back then, you're okay with it. It's like how the old ad said, even a woman could park it. I mean, that's not good today.
Yeah, I know for 39 that the tires, it was 70. I don't know how the hell this could get up to 70. They weren't that fast.
No.
And they did have that. They did have the inline, which ended up being the 4-liter at the end, the 258. It was a great 6. Everything else on this car was just garbage. These cars they were weird looking, really weird looking, strange looking even.
Well, if I'm correct, they just weren't. All they did was chop a Hornet and redo the back a little bit and made it this.
Yes, that is literally what they did, and the name. I think the name hurt it more than anything.
Absolutely.
Calling it a Gremlin. Why would you call it a Gremlin? Of all the things on God's green earth to call it, why Gremlin?
And think about the buying public. I mean, let's say you're because again, a World War II vet in this time was only about 40-something. And they're not going to buy this. I mean, they were not old men. They might get this for a runabout, and they're like, no, we remember those when the engine stopped.
Exactly. I've seen the videos where they talked about the Gremlins.
Yeah.
Actually, Bugs Bunny even did a video with Gremlins.
Absolutely. No, you don't want a Gremlin in your car. I mean, or your plane, but I don't know. I
don't know what's going on in this. I mean, this is how they introduced this car. They took that Hornet, which was also not setting the world on fire, and they made this car. It's like, okay, sure.
Well, and again, to make Americans, go back to, always bigger is better, as we're living through again right now. They had to somehow convince them that it's smaller, but not smaller, and it just. Unfortunately, it was just a mindset that I think they were trying to combine too many things at one time.
$1,900. I mean, wow. I mean, it was worth every penny. $1,900. I think Datsuns were that much. I think Datsuns were like what?
What year is that? 71, 70?
It's a 73.
All right, so basically it'd be like buying a Versa from like 10 years ago, $14,650 in today's money. So you're getting, I guess, an okay deal.
but the Datsuns and the small Toyotas were about the same price, and they were much better cars.
Absolutely.
Much better cars. Sky Spectre has never seen one. You've never seen a Gremlin? Oh. Holy crap. You need to get out and see one of these. Got to go. There'll be at least one at a car show. It usually is one. Yeah, that's right. Rooney said for $120 more, you could get the Hornet. The AMC just did weird stuff like this. And so then we have this. This is now, if you can afford a car, you can afford 2 Gremlins.
Wow.
I don't even understand.
They stole that from VW. VW in the early 60s had like the 2 neighbors with all the stuff they were buying. And I think it was all the furniture going in, this and that. And they had the guy with all the furniture going in plus the VW. And the neighbor could only get the furniture without a new car. So kind of similar. Not a bad one.
And they actually, in this ad, are comparing it to the VW, which is utterly hilarious. I mean, this part is absolutely this kills me, because they literally were going. I'll read it to you because the fine print's really tiny on this. All right. Until April 1st, 1970, only an imported economy car can make that statement. Then American Motors introduced the Gremlin, an American car at a price tag compete with the imports. The 2-passenger Gremlin, list for $1,879, while the 4-passenger was $1,959.
Yeah, it was an option.
The Gremlin gets the best mileage of any car made in America. It goes 500 miles on a tank and normally goes 6,000 miles between oil changes. Yeah, because then the sludge will just take over. And 24,000 miles before lube jobs. From bumper to bumper, it's just 2.5 inches longer than a Volkswagen. Yet its turning circle is 3 feet less than Volkswagen's, which makes the Gremlin about the easiest car in the world to park and handle. For the car size, the Gremlin does surprisingly well on the expressway. It's 10 inch wider and 7 inches lower and 765 pounds heavier than a Volkswagen. Heavier.
That's a selling point. More solid.
It means smooth, more stable ride, and its 128 horsepower engine goes from 0 to 60 in 15.3 seconds.
Well, VW is about, I think, 20.
20. Yeah, 20.
So
I don't know how this is easily hurt by speed. What?
Let's be fair. That rear end 3/4 view. Blue.
It's not bad.
It's not bad at all. Like,
it's not bad at all.
That C-pillar and that cut, that actually looks really kind of okay. That's not bad. That thing in the background, no, the guy with the suit, whatever's going on there. But no, that's actually that's actually not horrific looking.
No,
right there with that
it's
angle.
the side. It's the whole way the front got incorporated. It's just awful.
It's the Hornet, right?
Yeah, and they also have the fun of driving a new American car. The fun of driving a new American car. Jesus Christ.
And yes, I believe to get extra seats, it was an option. It was like
it was. Yeah. you had to pay $80 to get back seats.
Yeah.
For that headroom.
Right.
It's embarrassing. What the? I mean, this is their ad campaigns.
Yeah.
This is their. I mean, they were trying. I mean, Grant. I think Romney was still running it at this point, and so he actually had some good ideas, And here is something that they introduced that they rode this on and on. This is the only reason Chrysler took it, and the reason that Chrysler even bought AMC is because the head of Renault got made dead outside his
You're right. Yes.
outside of his apartment by some socialist or something in France, God only knows, anarchist. And Renault just started pulling out of the deal in the mid 80s, and American Motors was kind of not in good shape. So that's when Lee Iacocca spent all the profits that Chrysler had made and bought AMC just so he can get Jeep. He made a fake effort that he was going to keep using the other cars, but that was just a joke. And then they got the LH platform from AMC.
So I believe he was on a lie because look, the people think the French are no. They have protests that they set stuff on fire. People think,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they're far more protest happy than other countries. But I believe what happened was in '78, the CEO, whatever they call him over there, had either laid off or wasn't going to a new factory.
He fired people.
He fired people.
He fired
and
people.
they decided, okay, so he basically got Luigi. And so, but what's even more interesting, not that part, is what Chrysler did. They rhymed with history. AMC bought Jeep for the exact same reason. They bought it from Willys, if I'm correct.
Yes, in 1970. 1970. Yeah. It was that late. They were only distributing them. They were only distributing them up until 1970.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, the thing was, Willys was making Jeeps through the 60s.
Right.
And I always thought they had bought them earlier, and they didn't. It was, it was really, yeah. But yeah, so this is the Jeep when they came out with the Cherokee, which was basically a Jeep for normal people. That's
right.
This is literally why they did this, though, is that, and it had the only thing with these Jeeps and then the Grand Wagoneers that came out, they were horrible fuel economy. I mean, you can go through anything except the gas station. I mean, these things were bad. But all in all, honestly, it was the first SUV. It really was. It was the first SUV, and it was not a bad vehicle for what you needed, but they disintegrated. That was the only downfall with this thing. It was literally just, it was a great idea, and honestly, they should have done more with this, because Ford basically did the same concept with the Explorer in the mid '80s, and my God, I mean, they sold like 1 million of those things in a year. I mean, they went crazy selling those, and AMC just, I don't know, they somehow or the other, this launch got screwed. So
first, the Cherokee or the Bronco? Was the Bronco before this?
The Bronco was out first, but the Bronco up until this point was basically like a Jeep.
Yeah. It was a ranch hand car, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, it had everything was removable on it. It was tiny.
Right.
Up until '77, they were tiny. I think '78 they went to the F-150. Well, no, was that the F-100 platform? Yeah, I think it's F-100.
I think it was still called that. Yeah.
But it still had a removable roof or removable sections, and this is actually a fully formed. That's a hard top on here and whatnot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, on the C4339JK, Wagoneer tailgates were rust the first year. Oh yeah, these things were horrible. I remember up in New York, I was right, F-100. Cool. I remember up in New York, I was alive when these got introduced. I remember seeing them. I mean, in New York, this was a good vehicle to have. In wintertime, I mean, winters were bad. But you noticed that they weren't that old, and they were rusting. I mean, badly. And it's like, damn. I mean, it's just like, wow. And they had so much potential, and it just, I mean, they invented the SUV, and they literally couldn't capitalize on it. Ford did. Ford absolutely capitalized on it with the Explorer. What was it, 86, the Explorer?
No, the Explorer came out in '91, but
it was '91.
The Bronco 2 was '86.
Oh, that's right.
And the Explorer, basically, if I'm correct, they basically took the Ranger. Was it the Ranger originally, and just made
Ranger
a four-door vehicle, and like, oh, look at this, and like it was a truck, as we all know. And yes, in 1991, and that's where the whole fad started. Was, oh, look, you get all this extra and this and that, and it really wasn't. I'm not knocking it. It was very special, but not really. They just simply enclosed everything.
I mean, my mom bought one. She had an Explorer. She loved it. I mean, and it was actually very reliable. I mean, because it was a Ranger.
I knew people that had 90 with the first. When I saw those on the road, like in high school, I'm like, what is this? My dad's like, what are these? Because it was so not truck. Like, that was what's interesting, is it had just enough tweaks to not make you think it was a truck-based vehicle. Kind of very, very cool marketing and creativity.
So Sky Spectre said, did they use thin metal? No, they just didn't treat it very well. They were really behind on rust proofing. I mean, as bad as Chrysler was with rust proofing on the Volare and Aspen, nobody did poor rust proofing like AMC. They, yes, 20 cent. They used galvanized, but it wasn't. It with all inside of the fenders, the water would just sit in there and the moisture, and they would just disintegrate from the inside. I mean, there isn't. I mean, you have to be lucky to find an AMC that has not been repaired, unless it was like out in California, Nevada, New Mexico, sitting out in the desert. That's the only time you'll find one that's not disintegrated. That's what makes the challenge on these cars, is that every part of them disintegrates.
Yeah.
And so the restore one is like hell. I mean, the engine stuff's not bad and the transmission stuff's not bad because it's everybody else's stuff. It's the body parts that are just absolutely unobtainium on these cars. Yeah. See, Lewis, even G Canada had one.
Yeah.
A 4-liter Cologne 5-speed auto.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Towed 5,500 pounds. Yeah,
Eddie
that
Bauer.
was a good vehicle.
Yeah.
A great vehicle. Yeah, 1980. That's probably true. They didn't start using galvanized until 80 because their 70s stuff was horrible. I mean, you know, as a kid, especially when you're a kid that loves cars, you notice, you know what cars are new because you know what cars are coming off. You know, and I remember seeing a lot of those Jeep, the first year of the Cherokees, you know, the early Cherokees, and they weren't very old, 3 years old, and they literally had rot holes in them. I mean, just bad. I mean, just horrible rot. I mean, they didn't rot like a Volare did. A Volare rotted like I've never seen before. It rotted in places where cars shouldn't rot. The top of the fender rotted on that car. Chrysler had to replace the fender. It rotted in the corners. The trunk rotted. I mean, that thing, the hood rotted. The hood. I mean, the hood rotted. Yeah. And it had the gutless slant in it. They had the gutless slant. It was that probably was maybe it was galvanized on one side. Yeah, the side they painted on. You know, it's AMC. Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Ambassador was the only car in America, I believe the Ambassador, that was standard air conditioning.
Wow.
Yep.
I mean, AMC, yeah.
You know, it's like it'll rust out, but at least you got some cold air. You know.
Yeah, you had cold air. Yes.
The floorboard and the vents. You know. So. In New York.
Yeah, I mean, they had some innovations. I mean, like I had said before, the Pacer, the passenger door is longer than the driver's door.
Yes.
So you can actually get in and out of the back seat easier. I mean, they had some innovations, but
absolutely.
Dear God, like the AMX actually was a formidable muscle car. Unfortunately, it just was not made very well.
No.
All right, Sky Spectre. A Slant 6 is a Chrysler engine developed in 1961. It was originally the 198 cubic inches, and it was going to be put in the brand new Valiant line. It was a whole new line, Valiant line, and it was put on a slant because it was an inline 6 to make it fit underneath the hood. They gave it an angle to make it sit lower, and then they made it a 225, and the 225 got used up to 1984. So Chrysler didn't have any 6 cylinders from 1985 to the early 90s. They had no 6 cylinders of their own. They had to use other people's. So basically, it was also nicknamed the Leaning Tower of Power. They're known for being unkillable. Unfortunately, when you added smog control on them and tiny one-barrel carburetors, going up hills became a challenge in a Volare. A Volare was a mid-sized car that weighed 3,500 pounds, empty, and it was a 110 horsepower engine. Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah, I love it. They had cars that had all 4 doors were the same, front and backward interchangeable. It must have been the Ambassador had all same doors. Now, of course, everything about AMC is cost cutting. Anything you think you can actually save money on, they did it. and they did it hard. Like I think some of their cars weren't like glove boxes optional. I think like on the Hornet or something, like they literally, I think they had, you actually kind of asked for a glove box.
Everything was so. But hey, in defense of the four doors matching, the 1935-1936 Cord Beverly sedan, 810 or 812, I believe, they had identical doors and would actually open bolt to the center. That was probably for economics and great styling. But we know AMC was doing it for the not the latter part. Exactly.
Yeah, for the money.
Yeah.
Well, 20 cent. The lower the earlier slants weren't that bad. It was, and they had longevity because the Slant 6 had the same bearings as a Hemi. It actually had more journals, and it had the same bearing size as a Hemi on the crank. You could not kill one, and it had nothing to do. I know people that have turbocharged them, and they still keep, and they turbocharged them 20 years ago, and they're still going. That bottom end's indestructible on that engine. It literally is. There's so much surface area, and so much. Everything is so reinforced. You can't break it. You could try, you know. Every AMC had the same engine compartment. Yeah, I can see that. Save money.
Right. It's true.
Chrysler was pretty close to that because they started doing that with the B and E bodies. The engine compartments were identical. So literally all the engines, they were trying to go where every engine compartment was be about the same size except on the A bodies, the small cars, so they can just roll down the line and just use the same K-frames. Literally, so they could save money. You know, if you make one, make two K-frames instead of 10.
Yeah, I mean,
life's easy.
That's not to be bothersome. It's more like let's not rust-proof the car. That's
the rust-proof thing. You know that actually they did rust-proof the Velaris and Aspens, except they washed the bodies first in water,
and then sealed it up,
and then sealed the water in. Right. So they were rotting from day one on the lot. Cool, good stuff, man. Good stuff. So this one is interesting because they're trying to come back out with this. It's the Jeep Scrambler. Now, the thing is that the new Scrambler I don't understand how it's going to get released because they have something called the Gladiator. And it's pretty much the Gladiator is almost the same thing as a Scrambler. I mean, if you really think about it. So this was their idea of making a Jeep into a pickup truck. But look at the fuel economy numbers, 2328. There is no Jeep today that can get 2328. None.
Dang.
This is a real Jeep. It just has a flat bed on the back. So this is kind of one of the interesting things they did. And I mean, they didn't sell a lot of them. There's a few out there, but this was kind of innovative. And people always go looking for this look of having the flat back on the trucks, on the Jeep things. Yeah.
Because I'm guessing there was no seats back there at all on that model. Is that
no, it was just two-seater with a full bed.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So the slant. All right. So Chrysler, when they built the slant, we'll go on a little side quest here. When Chrysler was building the slant in 1960, 5960, they were what's his name? Oh my God, I can't. They were designing the car to compete with European imports. That's what the Valiant was going to be designed for. So, oh my God, what's his name? The designer. I did a friggin' video
Virgil
on him. Virgil. So Virgil wanted to put, keep the hood low on a Valiant, and they wanted to make the car zippy. So they were originally going to do aluminum. You are correct with that. But the pricing, first of all, the head gasket, but it was also the cost. The cost would have been incredible to start ramping up aluminum engine because they weren't doing anything in aluminum. They were doing intake manifolds in aluminum, minor stuff. They were not making engines out of aluminum. And so they basically scrapped it, but they did want to make the engine indestructible. So what they did is they took the biggest bearing journals they had, and that's how they based the crank. because they didn't want this thing to fail. They wanted it to be a durable, cheap American car to compete with the British cars of the day. So that's why the slant got invented. They did find out once it was on the road that the 198 was not powerful enough and was kind of slow. So, and the Valiant only lasted 2 years as its own model because they were weird. They were weird looking. They were strange looking cars. Actually, I'll show you with the Virgil. This has Virgil written all over it. Actually, I did a video on these. It's just. Oh God, it has so much Virgil written on it.
But you know what's so shocking about it being so Virgil is that he's the one who basically invented the very crisp 57. Suddenly, it's 1960 look that looked outstanding.
Yes,
and he had a 180, and if I'm correct, I believe some of his ideas were asymmetrical taillights and all sorts of weird stuff he was thinking. And he did, like I said, he did a complete 180 from his original clean design from the late 50s.
So this is a Valiant. This is a Chrysler Corporation's Valiant. And this one has changed wheels on and all, but the body line is the same. They came with hubcaps with 13-inch wheels. But this is literally what Virgil designed. This was very contemporary for English cars at the time, this type of grill. And there is the weird ass friggin' my God.
The toilet seat.
Yeah. So literally Virgil he figured that the spare tire, because, a lot of the British cars had like an external spare tire in the back, like the Morgans. The Morgans had a spare tire on the back. So to give that look, they made a false spare tire in the trunk. Yeah. And then the really weird taillights and the very strange body lines on this car. It's a strange looking car.
Dennis, if it was cleaner side without all the doodads and the phony or the fins, whatever you want to call them, all the bodywork. If that was a clean design, and even in the back end we can live with that without the spare tire and even the canted taillights, that's a really European looking car. Especially, obviously those new rims really make it look kind of sharp. That could be a European fighter if that was a cleaner, almost like a Jag look in a way. Yeah.
I mean, he I know what he was going for, and these cars actually sold really well. I mean, because they were priced right. The slant was a very good engine. Everybody knew that. And these cars were made to a higher standard. They actually were made to Chrysler level. They were extremely quiet. The doors, when you shut the door, it thudded. I mean, this car was built solid, and it was Chrysler's going into unibody. So they were going into full unibody with this, and they made structural resistance on this car that was amazing. It was, it literally just having it as a separate line, it just didn't work, especially then when Ford, and I did this in my video, Ford came out with the Falcon, and then General Motors brought out all their friggin' small cars, and that was the end of this. I mean, as soon as those, because the Falcon could come with a V8 in it. You couldn't get a V8 in this car. And that's what made Chrysler develop the ALA engine in 64, and they did it in under 18 months. They made a V8 from the old Hemis in less than 18 months because this car had no V8, and there was no way they were going to be able to compete with. Oh my God, it gets worse.
That is ridiculous. But don't forget, the Imperial had that fake cover too, so they were trying to
but that was an Imperial.
But it was trying to make it that lineage. Great wheels. That's.
All
and
the
I would
badging.
actually argue that the sedan looks a lot better than the two-door.
They updated the interior. I don't like the interior. The interior sucks in this car.
Yeah, that's awful. Completely not original.
That's awful looking, actually. That is awful. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Let's see if I can find it. No, that's a real car for sale. Oh. Unfortunately, that car really is for sale. I can't find one in interior because I want to find an interior shop because Oh, I actually they made a station wagon.
Yeah.
I actually know someone that has one of these.
What they call the 200, or is that the top of the line
The
Valiant?
200 was the top of the line. It was something. Yeah. And then wait, here's the I have a 2-door. If everybody wants to see what a 2-door looks like, yeah, here we go. I'll share this. So here's what a 2-door looks like.
Bad proportions.
Yeah, this is rough.
That's a great example of basically let's just get rid of the rear doors and put 2 on it.
It still has the original interior, so it had a very basic cloth interiors, and these are vinyl. There's a slant. There's the original slant, and the original slant was red. So that Chrysler just used red in the early '60s for the slant. And the slant actually one year was yellow. Go figure. Yeah, it does have that Lark look. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very.
I know 20 Cent. You've had a few of these. You're a glutton for punishment. You really are. But yeah, that's the Leaning Tower of Power. And this car's. How much was this car? No, it's for sale. I don't see a price. I think it's sold already. January 2016. So this is like 10 years ago. No, there's no price on this. Darn. So yeah, so there's the weirdness that was the sidetrack of the weirdness of the early 60s Chryslers. Just absolutely strange looking cars. Yeah, the forward rake and the B pillars on this stands 2 doors mimic the 57 2. Yeah, Virgil got stuck with that styling. And that was his undoing, because what happened is that when he got sick, his team finished the 62s and the 63s, and that's why they have those weird proportions, because they got gaslit that Ford and General Motors were shrinking their cars, so they shrank the cars, and holy crap, it was not pretty, because I think somewhere around here I actually have I'll post it later, the actual car they were trying to make, because the car they were trying to make was completely different than the car that actually got made, which is actually hilarious, because Virgil got sick and they just decided to finish the car. I think he had a heart attack, and let's see with Virgil. And then they blamed him, even though he didn't design the car. And that's when they brought in Engel. Yeah. Elwood Engel. Yes. Elwood Engel. They brought him in. And I mean, good thing. I mean, actually ended up working out in the end, because he did design the Charger, the good looking Charger. And let me see if I could find my Virgil. Oh, here it is. Virgil Exner. Okay. Yeah, I'll show you what this car is supposed to look like. Because there actually is, because we all know what these cars look like. The 60, let's see, share this one. Okay, we all know what they were supposed to look like or they do look. The 63s, they're horrible looking, but then when you go and you actually look at what he was trying to make, it actually was not a bad looking car. It was pretty solid looking car, actually. Where the hell is this? I just found it. I love trying to look for stuff on the fly. Let's see. I wish I could play some music, or you all talk amongst yourselves.
Talk amongst yourselves. But that famous hold music that that real good banger. One we all know on. I did some 30 years old. Let's
see. Where I just saw it. I want because I want to show this thing, because it's absolutely insane what they made and what they actually came out with. And here it is. I found it finally. So this is what they were trying to. This is what the car was supposed to look like. The 63s was supposed to look like this, and unfortunately, this is what the car looked like.
Very turbine.
Yeah, yeah. This is what it was. 62s actually. I'm sorry, not 63.
That's
62s.
I'd drive that.
Yeah. This is what happened though. Open a new tab. Open a new tab. Oops, no. Open picture. Open image in new tab. Dennis can do these one day. I work the internet. I can use the internet. All right, so this is what ended up happening at this to the car. See this car this way, and then this is what happened to it. That's what happened to it.
Wow.
Yeah, that I mean they shrank the car by over a foot,
Yeah.
and so you ended up losing the smooth line that went from the front to the back, and actually made it look kind of nice. I mean, that actually looks very similar to what Ford and General Motors came out with in 62. It's almost identical. And then they ended up with this. Oops, remove. And then they ended up with this thing, which this is the least ugly. This is the Plymouth version. The Dodge version's uglier. But this is a Max Wedge car. So this is actually a race car. It's actually one of the faster race cars from the day. But man, these are tough to look at. Literally, these cars, you can't tell if they're going forward or backwards because it is the body, the proportions on them, unlike this car, are just not good.
That's pretty. That's a sharp car.
That's what Virgil wanted to make, and that actually, I think that would have done very well. But oh well.
And you know, it's funny. Even by 62, Ford, even more so than GM. I just watched a really good video on the 1960 Chevy and 1960 Ford. Very transitional, but from 50s to 60s. This is still trying to hold on to some 50s elements.
Yes.
Even by 62, Ford, especially with the Continental and that Bauhaus look, it was definitely moving toward a new decade, where this is still beautiful, but you can tell that Virgil holding on to some of his greatness from a few years earlier.
Yeah, he got really stuck in. I'm gonna pull up the Dodge because the Dodge is horrific. Actually, the Dodge may be the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Because they shrank the car, and what happened is that it ended up not making it. Oh, I'll just share this tab. Okay. It ended up making the car look really weird looking. See, with the Dodge, when they took the 2 feet out of it, you just have these weird angles on the car.
Yeah.
So you had the fenders that were bulging out. All of a sudden, you had this weird body line that just suddenly came out of nowhere.
Problem. It doesn't fit, and they put those hash marks on there for no reason.
What a styling.
No, but I'm saying though, it's too much going on for that small car. It doesn't flow properly.
Yeah, everything about this car is just confusing.
Yeah.
But you can tell that there was a different design, and this is a 4-door.
I was gonna say, is that a 4-door? Yeah,
that's a 4-door. It's such a it's such a bad design that literally it just, I don't know, it just kind of gets lost. Here, I'll show you a 2-door. So this is a 2-door, which is even worse. Because the body lines are harsher and closer together, it's a rough looking car. I mean, this is rough looking. This
is thrown together. That is
well, they cut. As you see, if you take a look at this, they cut damn near 2 feet out of the car.
Right, but that front end with this split headlamps in the grill and outside the grill, it's like a that's a lot of it. But this was the design team at Dodge, and Dodge and Plymouth designed these cars, and this is what they came up with. Yeah, this is really hideous. Yeah. They thought it
Yeah.
looked space age. And, Nissan must have looked at this when they were making their Juke and said, you know what?
Yeah.
This is what we should do.
Yeah, exactly. The
12,
Juke, yeah, the
15 years
Juke is
ago.
not so bad. The
No.
Juke's cool. What
Yeah,
I
right.
mean. Yeah, everything about this, and the thing is, these are max wedge. A lot of these are max wedge cars that you see. So they'll just because it was the era for max wedges, people make max. So there's a lot of these around, but they are. I don't care how fast they're still ugly. This is an ugly ass car. I mean, it in person, it's even harder to look at because the angles on it get very strange.
Yeah.
Like this front area, the front area right here, this looks really strange head on,
Yeah.
and then like the 3/4 looking from the back, it looks. Whoa.
At least it's a hard top. I'm sure they made pillared.
They did make pillars, which was
Worse.
yeah, which was what you would yeah. Let's see, did I actually? I'm trying to see if there's that I can quickly find the picture of one because the pillared version is and that's a Dodge Dart. Oh yeah, they used the pillared version for drag racing because it was stronger.
Sure.
And lighter. So here we go. Here's one that was a drag racer. And let's see this. So that's what a pillared one looks like. Yeah. Yeah. And this is when they started making funny cars.
Huh.
So that rear axle, they actually did move it forward 2 inches, and they moved the front wheels forward 2 inches. Yeah. Yeah. Still, it's an ugly car.
Yeah,
It's a little tough. No, AMC wouldn't have done that. No. AMC actually in the 60s, AMC was very conservative. They had the most conservative cars on the market.
Sure.
Like the idea of painting inside the rims. Yeah, that was actually a big thing back then. They have the rims. To have the rims the same color as the body, that was a Chrysler thing to save money because those are Steelies. All those are black Steelies, and they just paint them body color.
Right. That's an old school thing they would do. Hence the term hub cap because you're just covering the hub of the wheel. You just
with a dog dish. Yep. Yeah. The Jamie Cotton. That one change, making sure they threw the whole thing out of proportion because they got gaslit. General Motors and Ford were scared of Chrysler because Chrysler was starting to make cars that people were buying. And so they basically floated out there that they were shrinking their cars. They were getting rid of all their bigger cars and going to make them 2 feet shorter. So Chrysler took the bait and went full in. Instead of hedging their bets and maybe just shrinking Plymouths, they shrank everything. And then we had the 1 year of the ugliest cars that Chrysler's ever made. I'm sorry. I know people like these, but these cars are tough for me to look at, man. It's just in person, they're quite painful. They're quite painful. Especially when it should have been this. And this would have actually been a nice looking car. So
that smacks of, and I always forget the name, but the one that went down in the Andrea Doria that has kind of that similar theme, Pininfarina going on.
There was the Pininfarina.
The Nomad.
That was
God, that was a Chevy, obviously. I always forget it, but yes, the one that.
Hold on.
It had that same kind of roof line. It's just that similar style.
That was the Chrysler Norseman. Because that's right. We went over the all the pre-production cars, and we literally went over that and said there's the only pictures of this car are the black and white pictures of this car.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Oh my God, there's a color picture of it. I guess it's colorized.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's only one black and white picture of this car.
Because they figured, well, you'll see it soon.
Yeah, exactly. There's only one. It's only this picture of that car, and you're right. It's very. If I can actually go to this page, remove, add the stage. Yeah, but Virgil helped design this car.
Yes.
So he helped design this car.
God, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh my God, 20 Cent Motor has some some tough taste, man. He looks at the 63 Dumbo-eared Plymouths. Those are hard cars to look at. Because 1963 Plymouth, I think you're talking about the coupes, right? Ooh. Yeah, this is where they were trying to salvage the car, salvage the company, and they made these they made choices. They made choices in 63. It was on the bigger ones. I think the bigger Belvederes. Let's see if I can pull one up that actually shows, because I know what you're talking about.
This is.
Yeah, the oh, I see. Okay. I'm trying to use it's like a buffalo. I'm trying to find the Dumbo weird ones. I think this is the Valiant. The Valiant had the really it was just strange looking. And then because they had gone, I'll show that they had gone they went very conservative really fast, and the cars were still smaller, so they were trying to regrow the cars to not be out of. Here we go. Here's a Sport Fury, and you can see what they were trying to do with this. Let's see, 63 Sports, share this tab, so you can see what they were trying to do with this car. They got rid of a lot of the stuff, but it just kind of has this weird, this whole weird C-pillar.
Yeah.
That is, yeah, it's something. It's less offensive. Actually, one of these was at Merit's party. Could have been this car.
What?
Could have been this car. I had to let my cat in.
Oh.
So, yeah. So they kind of were going away, and I think this is when they fired Virgil. Yeah. So actually, let me get back to where we were. Let me get back to where we were, because we were talking. I actually wanted to get. You know what? I'll just skip right to the one that I think is hilarious. I will absolutely skip to this one because it is absolutely hilarious. So they had a couple. First of all, they had something that I love. AMC released the Rebel Machine.
That's what the ad I saw was, the Rebel Machine.
The Rebel Machine. This would not fly today. Explain if you guys have ever loved white walls. Yes, on the right car they look great.
Yes,
on the right car they look great. Mm-hmm. They look wonderful,
along with red lines on certain cars. Outstanding.
Yes. So this is the Rebel Machine, and this was their answer to the high color, high compact, of like Chrysler and the GTO and all those other high impact cars. They came out with this thing, and and they called it the Rebel Machine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that wouldn't fly very big today. I guess that would just kind of not be a big thing. And they were all painted red, white, and blue.
Right.
They all had different variations of red, white, and blue. Yeah. So I mean, so there's that, and then of course, let's finish really strong.
Not now, but I'll send you at some time that salesman training video on the Rebel Machine with the straight laced father and the hippie kid, and
you
love it. It's great. It's awesome. You hear the beats with the record and the slides.
All right, so here we'll just finish on this one because this is just AMC I mean, this is balls.
Yeah.
That revolutionary new styling and technology, you'll have to see it to believe it. Stevie Wonder.
I first I'm like, wait, that's not Stevie Wonder. As I'm reading it,
Stevie Wonder was a spokesman for AMC.
But you cannot have that humor today. That is absolutely amazing.
And that's a pacer. Of course, he's pushing a pacer because why not? Why not have Stevie Wonder as your spokesman for the AMC pacer?
Right, but it's great how it says you have to see it.
You have to see it to believe it.
You just can't have that kind of fun anymore.
So the text reads, the Pacer is wider than any other compact car, making it best in class for illegally transversing bus traps.
What the?
For 1978, we redesigned the front fascia with this ridiculous looking.
I don't like that.
No,
I like the previous one
the
better.
ridiculous looking grill, and it improved gas mileage 0.49%. Additionally, it included almost a dozen new features. The most noticeable being a hood light for when you're inventively being fixing the lethargic 3.8 liter 6-cylinder engine that was hastily installed in a lightly small engine bay.
That's fake. There's no way this is real.
The funniest thing I've ever seen.
That
I had to end on this one because this was absolutely the funniest thing ever.
that is
Because
pretty funny.
only a blind man would say this is a good looking car.
No, but there's no way that's real. It's this little
It isn't. It is not. It is not real. I
wish it was.
I wish it was too. It's just the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
No, it was great is they have to add musician. Everyone knew who he was. Like they had to put that after it. Oh, that's too much.
It's a driving experience like unlike any other. But don't take our word for it. Just ask Stevie Wonder about the drive once he's discharged from the hospital.
That's wow. That's
Let's go and appreciate the Pacer for a few minutes. I mean, this thing became popular because of Wayne's World.
yeah. It became
Literally.
right? Yeah.
Nobody cared about Pacers
No.
at all up until Wayne's World came out.
No.
And then everybody wanted a Pacer after that, which is really weird. The Pacer may be one of the worst vehicles I've ever seen. It literally there was nothing utterly redeeming about the car except that it had the passenger's door was longer than the driver's door. That was the that was its claim to fame.
Yes.
What?
The glass like a fishbowl.
And
Very easy to see out of, and bacon, and
what was it, like 74 they came out with it?
actually 75. I think 75. 75 came out. And I got to be honest, and this is stretching, but the original grill front looked better than a 78 refresh.
Yeah, hold on. We'll show a beautiful version of the AMC Pacer. Haggerty did a story on one because why not?
Sure.
And they actually had a performance version of it because why not? So here it is in all its glory. Remove this. Here is all its glory. The AMC Pacer X. Look at all the glass on this car. Look at that, man. Oof. Actually, this car actually had the doors that went into the roof. That was actually so
wide.
It's absolutely this, up into the roof to make it more quiet. Yeah, it had enough glass in the back to actually set the car on fire. And here it is. I will not play it.
What year was he driving? What year does it say? What year in the movie? Did it say
76? It was a 76.
Put this in perspective.
There it is.
That was only a 16-year-old car when the movie came out. People are still driving like 2010s right now. It's not the same thinking when you think about it, right? That was radically a junky old car in 92.
Look at all that glass.
You think of a 2010, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
76.
The problem they had with this car was that back glass. They literally stuff would like melt back there.
Yeah.
It was just so much. It was so much glass, and the air conditioner in warm states, the air conditioner could not keep you cool. There was no way. There was absolutely no way. This was worse than the Corvettes from the 70s, which were horrifically bad to try to stay cool.
Really, even that small cabin. Interesting.
Yeah, no, the 70s Corvettes are notorious for making you sweat. Even with the great General Motors air conditioning, you couldn't get that thing cool. Oh my God, Fisher 3R. We had 2 Pacer station wagons. I am so sorry.
Wow.
Here we go. The wonderful vinyl interior.
Whew. Oh, look at
Nice
that
and sweat.
Speedo.
Look at the speedo. It went up to 90. The fuel economy. Look at the fuel gauge.
Okay.
So such high tech stuff going on there.
It's a vacuum. It's like, wow, the vacuum's up and down. That's great.
The Pacers were free. That's what they usually are.
Yeah.
This one has 37,000 miles on it. So I mean, somebody run out and grab this one.
Look at all those lights on the left hand side. Like no gauges. It's just lights.
Just lights.
That is.
Yep, the 78 Corvette, which is also that was the pace car one, I believe. My neighbor had one of those. All my life, I always saw a pace car Corvette, but it had that giant glass lift back on there, and literally you can roast stuff in the back of that car. Like literally, you could cook a meal in that car.
Who had a 79 that we know for a little while?
Who?
Our Tornado friend.
No.
Yes, he had a 79.
Oh my God. He had the worst Corvette ever. The worst Corvette ever made.
I remember. It's great. He wanted to be like Boogie.
Yeah.
It's so actually I think I know that was obviously like a 74 or 75 in the movie, but yes, he thought he was slick.
What would you rather, a Pacer or a 60 Valiant?
60
Valiant. I'd take the Valiant.
Oh, yeah.
At least I would have some respect, at least.
Corvette.
Yeah, that's right. I remember you, Fish. Yeah, the Malibu. Yeah, the 3rd gen Charger, and you just had the 4th gen, which is impossible to buy parts for. Yes, the 78 Corvette was gutless. The 1978 Dodge Little Red Express was the fastest vehicle in North America that year, with a 360 and a 4-barrel. Yeah. FMK, Pacer, Valiant, car. Oh my God. The F car because it's French. K the Pacer and M the Valiant. I don't even know. So yeah, so there we are with the AMC weirdness, which is now crept into the chat. The chat has gotten the AMC weirdness bug. The Corvette, the different horsepower is because of the 305 and the 350. In California, you can only get the 305. The weakest Corvette ever made by far. Let's see. All right, so let's see. Porsche, a Pacer. Oh, come on, that's not even a contest. I'll take a Porsche 928 any day of the week.
Absolutely.
It's actually a Volkswagen. Come on, it's not a bad car.
No, that's a cool.
Yeah, that's not a hard one. Come on,
that's a Corvette fighter right there.
Yeah, exactly. That's a 928. Well, actually, no, the 928. I'm sorry, that's the V8 one.
Yeah,
that literally you need to be an engineer to make it run. But I'll still take that over a Pacer. The 924 was actually the one to really have the turbo because it was still a Volkswagen engine, but it was built pretty well.
My buddy had the turbo 87, yeah.
But there was actually somebody near where I lived when I was growing up, and God, this is when they came out. So this car. Now think about this for a second. When that 928 came out, that car was like 3 times the price of a regular car. I think they were like
$60,000. I think.
Yeah. And somebody owned one near me. I have a feeling that they were in some sort of import-export business. But yeah, they had a 928.
Correct. That came out in the 70s, if I'm correct on that. Yeah.
Yes, so and I was in grade school
for the whole time.
Yeah, I was in grade school when the car was brand new, and we drove by. We went by on our bikes. I went, I know what the hell that is. Oh my God. 928 or 924. 924 just because it's easier to work on. Because I know people that had 928s and they're Porsche mechanics. It's like owning Ferrari. Either you're rich or you know how to work on it. Because if you are neither, you're gonna go broke. That 928 will break you. That engine is so complicated. It's actually one of the most. I think it's one of the first really complicated V8s because it didn't have like 4 head cams.
Oh yeah, it was. And if I'm ignorant on this, but I believe again, I say the term Corvette fighter loosely, but for Porsche to have a V8 front engine rear wheel drive, completely not its norm. It was more of like a Grand Tour style, if I'm correct in that.
No, it was a little bigger than 911.
It
Yeah,
was bigger. I'm saying, but it was of a luxury. It was SL, that more of that group of folks who are getting it versus someone buying a 911.
right.
You get a whole new, of a different buyer, the more luxury type of buyer coming in, not just a sports car buyer.
Right. Let's see. I think the first year was 92.
78?
Oh, wait, was it?
For what?
The 928.
The first year for 928 was like 77.
1977. You are correct. Wow, this was a futuristic car if you really think about it.
Absolutely, it was. Yeah.
So this is a let me get a good. Actually, let me just go to a website because this is kind of fascinating. So this car was so ahead of its time. Honestly, it's amazing, but only Porsche could do something like this.
Yeah.
So they had the headlights that went down. It had the bubble back on it. It was a bigger touring car, but they had, over 300 horsepower.
Yeah.
Which was insane
Look
back
at
then.
that. Look at how way futuristic. I mean, it's still kind of 70s wedge, but with a twist.
Yes. So let's see. It had a hot dip galvanized steel body shell, multi-link McPherson strut, Weissach axle. So it was a semi-trailing arm configuration. So it had different types of suspension, coil springs, 4-wheel disc brakes, 16-inch wheels. I mean, think about that.
That's huge
back then that was insane. So it was the first V8, 4.4 liters, and 8.5 to 1 compression, which is conservative. It uses Jetronic, which was really crazy. That's the mechanical fuel injection, Jetronic. The original one made 240 horsepower. I mean, in 1977, that is insanity. Yeah, that is crazy back then. And they ended up being way over almost 400. It was, so they had a rear gearbox. And this was a really interesting, look at the interior. Actually, for a late 70s car, that interior is actually really nice.
That's great. That's, I think, Buck Rogers in a German way.
Yeah. But if Buck Rogers talked like this,
you
will like the car.
The spokes are interesting on the wheel.
Yeah, so the manual went 0 to 60 in 6.8 seconds, which is incredibly fast for that time. Seriously, that is incredibly fast. So, and they made 5,400 cars. And I knew someone. I saw one.
The whole run?
Yeah, for the first year.
Oh, for sure.
And I saw one. Somebody owned one of these. I was in 5th grade? And I knew what it was. And I'm like, holy crap, why is there a Porsche 928 here? Like, this is an expensive car. So,
the bumper, especially for coming to America, the way the bumpers are completely integrated with the body and not having tons of rubbish on it.
Exactly. And then it all they did was evolve the car over time.
Right. Yeah. No, I think it ran to what, 92, 93?
Yes. So these kind of they made special editions, but honestly, the car was pretty impressive.
Sure.
They built a total of 17,800 of them between 77 and 82.
Oh.
So they built the early 80s.
So they built more than the new Charger.
Oh yeah, way more than the new Charger.
Even though it took a long time, it still will outsell it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it came with a 5-speed. It came with a real transmission.
That's a great looking car.
Yeah.
It's so
honestly, But yeah,
Like
honestly,
those dome houses.
yes. And honestly, this is Porsche's first supercar. I mean, Porsche had made 911s, but they were never considered supercars. They were sports cars. This was a supercar.
Right.
I mean, because it literally had the weirdness that like a Ferrari only had up to this point. The V8 up front, because Porsche never made V8s, and they didn't make a front engine car.
No.
So this was like a whole new place for them. And honestly, this really set the stage for all the later stuff we got from Porsche. Yeah, I love these cars. I just wish they weren't so friggin' impossible to fix. That V8 is a nightmare. I mean, it really is a friggin' nightmare. Everything about it is everything's just so complicated. Let me see. Let me take a look at because I think that the engine, yeah. So
Probably shoehorned in there.
yeah. Actually, you're right. It was into the early 90s. It is shoehorned in there. So here it is. This is from Car and Driver when they actually used to test cars.
Yeah.
Not unlike today where they just try to tell us how bad we are for driving cars. Let's see. There's an engine shot here. A view photo. All right. So yeah, this is the nightmare that is this engine. That's a production car. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. And it has, this is mechanical fuel injection. So you can see this is the pump here. And that it was, and so to add to the fun, that's because BMW used the same one.
So did Mercedes,
and it works great when it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it had the long tube runners. I mean, to get the power out of the car. Here's the air intakes. I mean, it's
a great design.
But I mean, working on this car, sheer nightmare. Sheer nightmare. Sheer nightmare. Yes, the drive shaft is always just spinning at engine speed because it had a rear transaxle.
Ah.
And I think it's the first Porsche to do that too. Because before that, they just made 911s and everything was in the back.
Kind of like what Pontiac had that, Dennis.
Yes, they did. Pontiac had that for a while.
62, yes, but I mean, it came out way before any of these companies did. Way ahead thinking with the rope drive.
Yeah, no, because they wanted better balance, and they did get better balance.
Yes, correct. Whole other conversation there.
Timeless wheels. These wheels are timeless, though.
I love that. Love it.
Look at that interior. That's the 70s right there, baby.
Wow.
Oof.
No, my buddy's 944 had the same wheels on it.
Yep, that's a timeless Porsche interior, but this engine, just the complication on this engine is just psychotic. Everything about this is psychotic.
Wow.
Yeah, Rooney, my muscular forearms could never get into the engine bay. Braggart. So yeah, all right. So we ended on a tangent because we might as well. It's the way we always do things around here. So yeah, check out my suspension video. I have it out there. Check your friggin' suspension before you drive your car. Please share it with somebody. I actually have a video on a product. It's gonna be coming out next week. I think everybody's gonna kind of want to get one of these because it's already helped my ass out. So we'll see that. So anything else from you there, Fluno?
Nothing really exciting. I am helping our friend Dan, who we often talk about his SL, which of course doesn't run. It has the Bosch injections in the backyard.
Oh, Jesus, wow. I know somebody can fix it.
I'm helping him help clean out his garage, and I'm in a manic eBay stage listing all sorts of tail lamps and a lot of fun stuff. So we've made a little deal on that. That's my exciting news. Nothing else to report. Got to get the new battery for the Lincoln, like we talked about. That's
get one.
I will. I'll get it.
Oh my God, Barracuda just got here.
Oh.
Hey, Barracuda. I know it's tomorrow there, and it's very confusing. I'm sorry. Good to see you, though.
But that's it for me.
Look at this. I saw this earlier. I was in the middle of something. Jeep Canada had the Y piece for his Ducati. Literally, it's plastic, and it just disintegrated.
Wow.
And it just drained the entire tank because tank's up here, carburetor's down there. If you don't stop it,
Nope.
wow.
Like they're wildfires.
Wow, that's exactly. Yeah, thanks for the wildfires.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's great. But you know what? It's mainly people in the Northeast, so who cares? We're not bothering us down here at all.
No, we're good. We have our own.
We have our own problems. Yeah. Oh my God! So Barracuda, you got to watch this on the replay because we went over some really weird stuff today. Because we had to. Oh well, so yeah, tomorrow I'm dropping the 413 off at Merritt's place, and we'll maybe I'll probably have some videos from Merritt's soon because I'll arrange some things tomorrow, and so we'll have. But tomorrow we drop off that friggin' engine, and allegedly the machine shop is made room for this thing. So may actually only be like a month, even though in September I won't be able to put the thing in because I won't be here. I won't be in Florida in September. So, oh well. Yeah, I'll be doing shows on the road. You'll get to see me in lots of places that are not here. Everybody hit the like button.
To that.
What?
So we're looking forward to that.
Yes.
The cabin and wherever else you're going to be.
Oh yeah.
Stationed.
Yeah. Well, I'll be in Georgia for one show that I'll have to, and then I'll be. I may actually skip that week. That's a family vacation. But the week after I'll be in friggin' the mountains of Tennessee and also in Bowling. I won't do a show in Bowling Green, but I'll do one in the mountains of Tennessee twice. Yeah. So try to figure out where I am. I narrowed it down, but try to figure this one out because I can't even tell you where I am. All I know is you go up the road, you go up the road till the road ends, and then you keep going, and then you go until you see the grass on the left and his house is on the right.
Wow. Super sticks.
Rooney, everybody will forget that I'm there in 6 weeks. Nobody will remember I'm going any place.
Well,
yes, I will just be with my family. Trust me. Thankfully, the other part is not a family vacation. I'll be by myself. Oh well. Okay. So I guess that will be the fun for tonight. Everybody remember, like, subscribe, share it. Tell your friends that I do stuff on cars and I actually do stuff that's useful. And actually, I do know how to work on cars. Obviously, since I pulled an engine out of a car successfully, didn't damage anything, and we'll be reassembling it and having it running probably by October. I'm very excited over this. Truly. Wait. Yeah, I already rebuilt the carburetors and stuff. It's just basically putting it back together. So there's that. And getting it in the car first. Can't wait. And putting that grill back together is going to be another 5 hours.
Absolutely. They didn't think it'd make it 5 years. So.
Yeah. So, we'll have a show next week. It'll be 62. Yeah, we show 62. 62. God knows what I'll be talking about because I usually find out on Sunday what the hell I'll talk about. So we'll have it then. Yeah, once again, thanks for everybody for watching, and hit that little thumbs up, and we will hopefully we'll see you taking your car out, because if you do that, you make someone's day. It'll probably be your own, and we'll catch you down the road. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
If you liked what you saw, subscribe. If you didn't, thank you for watching to this point. And as always, if you have a cool car or something fun to drive, take it out. You'll make someone's day, probably your own.